Hello, I'm Michael Cherry, and this is from the Nightwatchman's Occurrence book by V.S. Naipaul. On finding Night Watchman Cavanda fast asleep in the hotel lounge, the manager fires him and gives the job to Night Watchman Hilliard. Night Watchman Hilliard. This book is to be known as the Night Watchman's Occurrence book. In it, I shall expect to find a detailed account of everything that happens in the hotel at night. Be warned by the example of ex-Night Watchman Cavanda, W.A.G. Inskip, manager. Mr. Manager, remarks noted. You have no worry where I am concerned, sir. Charles Ethelbert Hilliard, Night Watchman. November 23rd, 11 p.m., Night Watchman Hilliard take over duty at C Hotel with 1 torchlight, 2 fridge keys, and room keys 1, 3, 6, 10, and 13. Also, 25 cartoons Scarab, 7 cartoons Heineken, and 2 cartoons American cigarettes. Bare cartoons intact, bar intact, all corrected, no report. Charles Ethelbert Hilliard. 7 a.m., Night Watchman Hilliard hand over duty to Mr. Vinales at C Hotel with 1 torchlight, 2 fridge keys, and room keys 1, 3, 6, 10, and 13. 32 cartoons bare, bar intact, all corrected, no report. Charles Ethelbert Hilliard. Night Watchman Hilliard. Mr. Wills complained bitterly to me this morning that last night he was denied entry to the bar by you. All hotel guests are to be allowed entry to the bar at whatever time they choose. It is your duty simply to note what they take. This is one reason why the hotel provides a certain number of bare cartons. Please note the spelling of this word, W-A-G Inskip. Mr. Manager, remarks noted. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to take some education, sir. Charles Ethelbert Hilliard. November 24th, 11 p.m., Night Watchman Hilliard take over duty with 1 torch, 1 bar key, 2 fridge keys, 32 cartons bare, all intact. 12 midnight, bar closed, and barman left, leaving Mr. Wills and others in the bar, and they leave at 1 a.m. Mr. Wills drinks 16 carb, Mr. Wilson 8, and Mr. Percy 8. At 2 a.m., Mr. Wills come back in the bar and take 4 carb and some bread. He cut his hand trying to cut the bread, so please don't worry about the stains on the carpet, sir. At 6 a.m., Mr. Wills come back for some soda water. He didn't have any, so he take a ginger beer instead. Sir, you could see it's my intention to do this job good, sir. I can't see how Night Watchman Cavanda could fall asleep on this job, sir. Charles Ethelbert Hilliard. You always seem sure of the time, and guests appear to be in the habit of entering the bar precisely on the hour. You will kindly note the exact time. W.A.G. Inskip. Noted. Charles Ethelbert Hilliard. November 25th, midnight, bar close, and 12:23 a.m., barman left, leaving Mr. Wills and others in bar. Mr. Owen take 5 bottles carb, Mr. Wilson 6 bottles Heineken, Mr. Wills 18 carb, and they left at 2:52 a.m. Nothing unusual. Mr. Wills was helpless. I don't see how anybody could drink so much. 18 one man alone? This work enough to turn anybody 7-day Adventist? Charles Ethelbert Hilliard. More than 2 pounds of veal were removed from the fridge last night, and a cake that was left in the press was cut. It is your duty, Night Watchman Hilliard, to keep an eye on these things. W.A.G. Inskip. Mr. Manager, I don't know why people so anxious to blame servants, sir. About the cake, the press lock at night and I don't have the key, sir. Everything's safe where I am concerned, sir. Charles Ethelbert Hilliard. November 27, 1 a.m., bar close. Mr. Wills and an American, 19 Carib. 2:30 a.m., our police come and ask for Mr. Wills. He said the American report that he was robbed of $200.00, and he was drinking last night at sea with Mr. Wills, Mr. Jimenez, and others. Mr. Wills and the police asked to open the bar to search it. I told them, I am not authorized to open the bar just like that. The police must come with the manager. Then the Americans said it was only a joke, he was joking, and they tried to get the police to laugh. But the police looking the way I feeling. See Hilliard. Night Watchman Hilliard, will you kindly tell me who Mr. Jimenez is and what rooms he occupied or occupies? The names of all hotel guests are on the slate next to the light switches. If you find Mr. Jimenez's name on this slate or could give me some information about him, I'll be most warmly obliged to you. The lady in room 12 is Mrs. Roscoe. It is your duty to see that guests are not pestered by unauthorized callers. I would be glad if in future you could direct such callers straight to me. W.A.G. Inskip, manager. Sir, I don't know what sort of work I take up. I always believe that night watchman work is a quiet work, and I don't like meddling in white people business. The gentleman called Mr. Jimenez occupy room 12 also. I didn't think it necessary to mention because it was none of my business, sir. CEH. Night Watchman Hilliard. Not necessary to mention? You are not to decide what is necessary to mention in this Night Watchman's Occurrence book. Since when have you become sole owner of the hotel as to determine what is necessary to mention? November 28, 12 midnight, bar close, and barman left at 12:20 a.m., leaving Mr. Wills and others. And they all left at 1:25 a.m. Mr. Wills, 8 Carib, Mr. Wilson, 12, Mr. Percy, 8, and the man they call Paul, 12. Mrs. Roscoe joined the gentleman at 12:33 a.m. 4 gins, everybody calling her Minnie from Trinidad, and then they start singing that song and some others. Nothing unusual. CEH. You will please sign your full name at the bottom of your report. You are in the habit of writing nothing unusual. Please take note and think before making such a statement. I want to know what is meant by nothing unusual. I gather, not from you needless to say, that the police have fallen into the habit of visiting the hotel at night. I'll be most grateful to you if you can find the time to note the times of these visits. W.A.G. Inskip. Sir, nothing unusual means everything usual. I don't know. Nothing I writing you liking. I don't know what sort of work this night watchman work getting to be. Since when people have to start getting Cambridge certificate to get night watchman job? I not educated. And because of this, everybody think they could insult me? Charles Ethelbert Hilliard. November 29th, midnight, bar close, and 12:15, barman left, leaving Mr. Wills and Mrs. Roscoe and others in the bar. Mr. Wills and Mrs. Roscoe left at 12:30 a.m., leaving Mr. Wilson and the man they called Paul, and they all left at 1 a.m. 20 minutes to 2, Mr. Wills and party returned and left again at 5 to 3. At 3:45, Mr. Wills returned and take bread and milk and olives and cherries. He asked for nutmeg too. I said we had none. He drank 2 carob and left 10 minutes later. He also collect Mrs. Roscoe's bag. I don't know, sir. I don't like this sort of work. You better hire a night barman. At 5:30, Mrs. Roscoe and the man they called Paul come back to the bar. They was having a quarrel. Mr. Paul saying, "You make me sick." Mrs. Roscoe saying, "I'm feeling sick." And then she vomit all over the floor, shouting, "I didn't want that damn milk. I didn't want that damn milk." The police come at 2, 3:48, and 5:52. They sit down in the bar a long time. I don't know, sir. I think it would be better for me to go back to some other sort of job. At 3, I hear somebody shout thief, and I see a man running out of the back, and Mr. London, room 9, say he missed 80 cents and a pack of cigarettes, which was on his dressing table. I don't know when the people in this place does sleep. Charles Ethelbert Hilliard. Nightwatchman Hilliard. A lot more than 80 cents was stolen. Several rooms were in fact entered during the night, including my own. You are employed to prevent such things occurring. Your interest in the morals of our guests seem to be distracting your attention from your duties. Save your preaching for your roadside prayer meetings. Mr. Pick, room 7, reports that in spite of the most pressing and repeated requests, you did not awaken him at 5. He has missed his plane to British Guyana as a result. No newspapers were delivered to the rooms this morning. The messenger's bicycle, which I must remind you is the property of the hotel, has been damaged. What do you do at nights? W.A.G. Inskip. Please don't ask me, sir. Relating to the damaged bicycle, I left the bicycle the same place where I meet it. Nothing take place so as to damage it. I always take care of all property, sir. I don't know how you could think I have time to go out for bicycle rides. About the newspapers, sir. The police and them read it and leave them in such a state that I didn't think it would be nice to give them to the guests. I wake up Mr. Pick, room 7, at 4:50 a.m., 5 a.m., 5:15 a.m., and 5:30. He tell me to F off. He would not get up. And one time he pelted a box of matches at me. Matches scatter all over the place. I always do everything to the best of my ability, sir. But God is my witness. I never find out a night watchman work like this. So much writing, I don't have time to do anything else. I don't have 4 hands and 6 eyes. And I want this extra assistance with Mr. Wills and Patty, sir. I am a poor man and you could abuse me. But you must not abuse my religion, sir. Because the good Lord sees all and will have his revenge, sir. I don't know what sort of work and trouble I land myself in. All I want is a little quiet night work, and all I get in is abuse. Charles E. Hilliard. November 30th, 12:25 a.m. Bar closed and barman left 1 a.m., leaving Mr. Wills and party in the bar. Mr. Wills take 12 carob, Mr. Wilson 6, Mr. Percy 14, Mrs. Roscoe 5 gins. At 1:30 a.m., Mrs. Roscoe left, and there was a little singing and mild guitar playing in room 12. Nothing unusual. Police come at 1:35 and sit down in the bar for a time, not drinking, not talking, not doing anything except watching. At 1:45, the man they call Paul coming with Mr. McPherson of the SS Naparoni. They was both falling down and laughing whenever anything break. And the man they call Paul say, fireworks about to begin. Tell Minnie, Malcolm come in, the ship just dock. Mr. Wills and Patty scatter, leaving 1 or 2 bottles half empty. And the man they call Paul tell me to go up to room 12 and tell Minnie Roscoe that Malcolm come in. I don't know how people could behave so. The thing enough to make anybody turn priest. I noticed the padlock on the bar door break off. It hanging on only by a little piece of wood. And when I went up to room 12 and tell Mrs. Roscoe that Malcolm come in, the ship just docked, the woman get sober straight away. Like she don't want to hear no more guitar music and she asking me where to hide, where to go. I don't know. I feel the day of reckoning is at hand, but she not listening to what I saying. She busy straightening up the room 1 minute, packing the next. And then she run out into the corridor. And before I could stop, she run straight down the back of the stairs to the annex. And then 2:05, still in the corridor, I see a big man running up to me. And he's sober as a judge, and he mad as a drunkard. And he asking me, where she is. I ask whether he is a authorized caller. He said, don't give me any of that crap now. Where she is. So, remembering about the last time and Mr. Jimenez, I direct him to the manager office in the annex. I hear a little scuffling inside Mr. Inskip's room. And I make out Mr. Inskip's sleepy voice and Mrs. Roscoe's voice, and the red man run inside, and all I hear for the next 5 minutes is bam, bam, bro, bo. And this woman screaming. I don't know what sort of work this night watchman getting to be. I want something quiet, like the police. Mr. Hilliard, in view of the unfortunate illness of Mr. Inskip, I am temporarily in charge of the hotel. I trust you'll continue to make your nightly reports, but I would be glad if you could keep your entries as brief as possible. Robert Magnus, Acting Manager. Thank you.